Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. In today's video we're going to take a look at the brand new Transformers Studio Series 8609 Voyager class Wreck-Gar, inspired by Transformers the movie. And honestly, what to say about this figure is just the best Transformers 1986 Studio Series figure they have ever released. I know I said that about Hot Rod, but now this figure is so worth your money, so worth your $30. I recommend getting this figure. I got him at Target the same day I got Thrust. If you saw my Thrust review, and then you know the people that got Wreck-Gar did help me and everything, and I'll leave a good review on their Target website and blah blah blah. So, turning our attention to Wreck-Gar, I mean, all the detail that is implied to Wreck-Gar is absolutely amazing. Now I'll go over the details later and everything, just to tell you what this video is going to be about. First off, we're gonna take a look at Wreck-Gar. First, we're gonna go over the accessories, size comparisons, take a look at the box, backdrop, etc. And we will finally transform Wreck-Gar into that cool motorbike form, and I will show you how you can incorporate some Transformers that can ride on his motorbike form. So without further ado, let's take a look at Wreck-Gar in a close-up detail. So here, having Wreck-Gar in front of me and in front of the camera, honestly, you can already see that this figure is just amazing. I think all the detail that is applied to this figure looks amazing. Though this wheel looks good, this spinny blade thing looks good, and I'll explain how it's going to look good later. This other wheel. Now, as far as articulation is concerned, let me just straighten out this figure so you can see the articulation. The shoulder is apparently on I believe a hinge joint. Yes, the shoulder's on a hinge joint, as well as a swivel joint. Hinge joints at the biceps, swivel joints at the biceps, hinge joints at the elbows, I meant. Unfortunately, no form. Oh wait, yes, there is a form of wrist rotation. I did like that they included some wrist rotation, so that is really nice to see. These little nipple guns, I really do like them. They do look quite funny. His head is on a ball joint, I believe. Yes, it is on a ball joint. Can look up, down, tilt slightly left to right, and spin 360 and everything. Same thing applies to the arm. Now the torso is on a swivel joint, which can go like this. So if he was gonna attack a Decepticon, he would be attacking from both directions. And honestly, I think this is one of the first ever Studio Series to have an ab crunch right here. So I personally find that really cool, and honestly, that is really amazing. Now he also has some little gearboxes right here that would include probably some weapons or tools. As Wreck-Gar is, I think he is a kind of a mechanic, so I think that there would be some tools. Now on his legs, they are on some soft ratchet joints, so if you can ratchet them out and forward. Now the knees are on a hinge joint, so you could go at least this forward, which actually is quite weird, but it's mostly for transformation. Go back that far, and then the ankle can tilt, and this piece right here, the whole foot can tilt as well. So as far as articulation is concerned, this is a really well articulated figure. I feel like this whole Transformer is masterpiece level. Just looking at him, he is clearly a masterpiece Transformer. And I will tell you this figure is going to be really hard to find for some of you, depending on where you live. Where I live, it was quite hard, believe me. Here in California, it was just so hard to get this figure until I found them at Target, and boy, I do not regret getting this figure. This figure is just so worth your money and everything. It is hard because some people want to army build, and there is a lot of supply and demand problems. And many people just buy this figure to army build and don't give others a chance. But on Hasbro's part, they should actually make a lot more of these ones also. So and to army build, I'll explain later on in the review. So without further ado, let's go into the next segment of our video, which is a size comparison segment between Wreck-Gar and other 1986 Transformers that appeared in the movie and that are in the Studio Series and in other toy lines. So here we have Wreck-Gar's box, and honestly, I think the artwork on the box has come out exceptional. If you have noticed, I put Wreck-Gar in the position of the box right here. So I'll just set Wreck-Gar off to the side, and now let's turn our attention toward the box. Right here, the backdrop, we can see that we get the Junkion dance party backdrop, and also the Junkions did emerge from all the rubble. If we do see right there is some rubble and stuff. the rubble. So we do see the Junkions emerge from there in the 1986 film. Right here we can see a CGI render of Wreck-Gar, Studio Series Wreck-Gar, Transformers the movie, Hasbro 8609, a close-up of Wreck-Gar, Voyager class. And on the back it shows the details of Wreck-Gar. He transforms in 22 steps from robot to motorbike mode, and I think that is really cool. His iconic movie scene is Junkion dance party as Wreck-Gar and the Junkions join the Autobots after exchanging the universal greeting Ba Weep Grana Weep Ninibog, like I said earlier. So that is Wreck-Gar's iconic movie scene, and then the final side of the packaging has Wreck-Gar full in his full CGI render, and I think that this came out exceptional and looks well. Top of the box, Transformers the movie, and the bottom of the box just is a bunch of words of where it was from, blah blah blah, and stuff like that. So now with that being said, let's take a look at some of Wreck-Gar's features and his accessories. Let's start off with these two wheels. These are merely accessories, but I would consider them part of robot because Wreck-Gar just doesn't look like Wreck-Gar without his wheels. So I'm just gonna take them off temporarily, and the spinning blade as well. So I'm just gonna set Wreck-Gar off to the corner right now. So we're just gonna see Wreck-Gar right now off to the corner, like we're gonna see him right here. He has two wheels. They are identical to each other. They do have red little nubs right here, and honestly they do make noise if they were rolling, like if they were actual motorcycles. Kind of a little bit. And then now the spinning wheel thing, which is like a big like shuriken thing, I don't know, that slices your enemies. You could have this toward a Decepticon or even an Autobot betrayer, so you could just have it like spinning like that, and like that. So I think that looks really cool. So overall, he only has 3 accessories, and honestly they have come out really cool. So now let's take a look at some of the details on Wreck-Gar. Like I have already covered the articulation. Right here we can see some red sculpting, nice sculpting and detail around here. The whole area is nicely sculpted. Some parts are painted, some parts are not. I do like these spikes right here. They do look marvelous. The face in itself looks amazing. We can see this little goatee mustache, this beard, and then this mustache. I think this captured how Wreck-Gar looked like. If we turn our attention to the back of the head, we can see some speedometers right there, which will show up later in motorcycle mode. And I think that the whole figure itself in general looks cool. In the back, it looks cool as well. And I think that Hasbro has done a really excellent job with this figure. And overall, there is not that much hollow gaps except for the arms, but that is just a minor critique, and I'll let it pass it by. So without further ado, let's transform Wreck-Gar into that cool Junkion motorbike mode. So here I have most of the 86 Transformer figures, and honestly I think that the scale here works excellent. I have read some reviews and I've heard from others online that they say Wreck-Gar is a bit too big, but I find it okay. But honestly, just looking at it, it is a little too big. I do remember Hot Rod and Wreck-Gar nearly being at the same level, and if you do remember the scene when Hot Rod recruits Wreck-Gar and then he does that universal code that goes Ba Weep Grana Weep Ninibog or something like that. So I think it's really cool to have this all of these 1986 figures to recreate those classic moments of our parents' childhood and stuff like that. And honestly, I think that this looks really cool. Wreck-Gar, Hot Rod, RC, Blur, Cup, Grimlock, and Ultra Magnus. So that wraps up the review segment. I mean the what's it called? The comparison segment. Now I just want to show you something cool that if you do remember the 1986 film, if you haven't seen it, you may want to skip ahead just like probably a minute. If you do remember, in one scene they were having like a party or something, like they were having a dance because the Junkions are gonna help the Autobots and stuff like that. So I think that this really is cool. So you can have them posing in many ways. You could have them doing like a sort of handstand or something like that. You never know. So you could do whatever you want with these figures to make them look like if they were actually doing what they did in the movie. So with that being said, now let's turn our attention to Wreck-Gar's some of Wreck-Gar's boxes and some of the details on Wreck-Gar. So here I have Wreck-Gar in his robot form, and now we are going to transform him into his cool looking motorbike form. So the first step you're going to have to do is simply move the arms all the way up. And then after that, you're just gonna fold in the wrists like so. You're just gonna fold them in like so. After that, just straighten out everything else like so. Make sure that the legs are properly aligned with each other. Then after that, you're gonna make sure the toes do look like he's on his tippy toes like this. So you're just gonna make sure they do look like that. After that, you're just gonna deattach this whole region right here, revealing the front part of the motorcycle. Then with that front part, you're just gonna have to just simply pop it out like so, like that, and there. So we have most of the bike covered now, and then now you're just gonna pop in his head right there. And now with these nipple blasters right here, it looks like if he was armed and ready to fight on any Decepticons or any enemies he comes across. So I think that looks really cool. Pew pew pew. So then after that, you're just gonna have to make sure that, I believe that this whole area has to be separated like so. After that, you're gonna have to make sure that this region is going to be like so, like this. With these little tabs on the brown area, they're gonna have to be facing downward like so. After that, you're gonna have to rotate the whole bicep like so, like that. So just have this whole bicep rotated like this, the whole arm itself. So just have the whole thing rotated like that. Then after that, I believe you're gonna have to have this red piece connect to the bicep right here. Just have it connected right there. Do the same process to the other side. There, we have the front part of the vehicle done now. Then after that, we're gonna have to connect Wreck-Gar's feet to his shoulders. I believe right here. You're just gonna have to just simply align this up like so. Do the same process to the other side. So just simply align it up like so. Just slide it in right there, and there we have Wreck-Gar fully transformed into the awesome motorbike form. But you're noticing something's missing, and you're right, the wheels. So to incorporate these, it's rather quite simple. Excuse me. You're gonna see some hollow circular cavities right here, and these little circular pegs are gonna go into those hollow areas right here. Just gonna go inside right there, and then gonna do the same process to the back side right here. You're gonna do the same process right here. Just gonna align that up appropriately. Push this piece in right here. And then if this piece has deattached, reattach it once more so that it can complete the robot. I'm at bike form. After that, it's just a matter of making sure everything is straight. And there we have Wreck-Gar fully transformed into his awesome motorbike form. And what about his spinning wheel blade thing? So there are two ways you can incorporate this. You could put this little circular tab on the edge of it right here. You can just simply store it in like so, and it just looks like a funny cute little windmill right here, but honestly it's not gonna stick for long. Or you can just have it like this, and I think that this looks better. It looks like if there was like a Decepticon behind it, he could have this thing be he could have this thing on the rear part of the car. Just gonna slice the Decepticon and then launch him or something. So I think that looks really cool. And now you're noticing Wreck-Gar is unbalanced. Now there is a special feature to Wreck-Gar which you're gonna have to balance him. You're gonna have to go to the bottom right here, revealing these little posts right here, which are gonna keep Wreck-Gar from falling. So I think that this looks really cool, and it looks like if Wreck-Gar was parked, if this motorcycle was parked, and it just does look really cool. And so here we have Hot Rod riding Wreck-Gar, and honestly I think that this looks cool. You could, if this was a possibility, you could have this, and I think that this would look really cool if Hot Rod is riding Wreck-Gar, and it honestly does look cool. And honestly, with this slashing blade thingy, you could attach it to Hot Rod right here on his hand, because obviously it's a 5mm port, I believe so. Just simply gonna attach it right here, and then you could create some cool Transformer theme, Mad Max style could have this spinning, and if Hot Rod was riding Wreck-Gar to attack a Decepticon or something, I think that would be a possibility. The Decepticon standing in the way, Wreck-Gar would come and then knock out the Decepticon. So I think that really does look quite cool and amazing with Wreck-Gar. So now, taking Hot Rod out of the scene momentarily, I might bring him in the review, I might not. So just taking him out of the scene, just taking a look at Wreck-Gar itself. Wow, this figure is just nothing but wow. This figure is amazing. I think that the engineering on this figure has become exceptional. I like this figure. So far, one of my favorite 86 figures so far. So I think this figure is definitely worth your money. I do recommend this figure. This is so good. And I think this little tab right here is not only just to connect the waist together, but if you have noticed on Wreck-Gar's torso, there is a little slot in the shape of that tab. So if people did army build Wreck-Gar, they can sit him right here evenly. So if that was a possibility you could do, go for it. And now, speaking of army build, many people have army built their Transformers, and honestly, I think that's cool and all, but I mean, like, I just feel like it's a lot of money just to army build and get the same of one character. But I would seriously just think I have more than one, so I won't be like I need another one so I can have an army. So if you did army build them, that is fine. Although I would just wait for Hasbro to re-release this figure, but as a brand new character or something. So I think that really is cool. So now, for conversion back into the robot form, simply what we're gonna have to do is simply just deattach the wheels like so. How we did, deattach these feet right here. Attach the wheels. After that, you're just gonna have to make sure the wheels are straightened out like so. Make sure they are straightened out like so. And after that, you're gonna have to make sure this whole region is tapped together, so that it can create his body and everything. After that, you're gonna have to deattach these pieces, bring this whole area down, rotate this piece right here. Rotate this piece right here, and then rotate the bicep as well, and flop out his hands right here. There's a little tab right here for it to be easier to put your nail in, and then just simply take out the hands right here, and then simply you're just gonna have to do the same process to the other side. Just flip this whole arm, rotate the bicep, unfold the hand like so, like that, and then after that you're just gonna have to fold in all of these pieces right here. So then you're gonna have to just make sure this piece is properly aligned and tabbed in like so. These tabs and there's some slots in this red plastic area which are gonna go onto these tabs. So you're just gonna simply align that up so that it can tab in like so. So you're just gonna have to line it up like so, like that, and there. So then after that, connect that piece right there, and there you have Wreck-Gar fully transformed into his robot form. Finally, into his robot form. And honestly, this figure is quite amazing, robot and vehicle form. So I do recommend this figure, and I'll give you my final thoughts right now.